Tell me where you were born and raised and something about your family.
I was born and raised in Clinton, which is a lot like Kingston, small town on the river. And so that's Kingston isn't home, but it feels like it for that reason. My family, my dad was a public servant. He was county executive for 20 years and a Ford dealer before that. And they were all from that area. So,
Do you have any siblings?
two. I have two sisters.
Tell me about where you went to school.
I went to Clinton all through school, and then went to Roane State and Tusculum. Was where I finished up.
Did you have any favorite teachers, coaches that had an impact on you?
Absolutely. I had two in particular that really made a difference, and I'm actually still in contact with them today. But the impact that a good teacher can have is just absolutely priceless, and took so many lessons away from both of them. So I have a lot of fond memories of teachers.
Were you involved in sports, band, or any other activities?
I played sports. I wasn't very good at them, but I enjoyed playing them. And I was in the band in elementary school. I played the trumpet in the 6th grade, but I wasn't very good at that either. So that ended my band career.
When did you move to Kingston?
10 years ago. I came here to be city manager in 2013.
Where'd you move from?
Lived in Maine for about 2 years, and before then was in Clinton.
What did you do in Maine?
Same thing. I was a city manager there.
How did you become city manager?
Always knew that I wanted to do something in public service. It's in my blood. I'm a 3rd-generation public servant. So wasn't quite sure how that would manifest, but I started out in banking and finance and did 4 years in the political arena on county commission, and then transitioned into city manager. And I've been in this position one place or another for almost 20 years.
What does a city manager do?
City manager is kind of like the principal of a city. If you think about a school, you have a school board that sets policy, and then the principals carry out that policy, and they make sure that the school runs efficiently. That's basically what a city manager does, except for instead of a building full of teachers, I have a police department, a fire department, and that sort of thing. But the city manager manages the resources of the city.
What are some of your favorite parts about being the city manager?
It's something different all the time, and I like that. I also like the fact that I can look at things we've accomplished and see where we've made a difference. And hopefully one day when I'm done with this, I can look back and say that I left it a little better than I found it. So being able to put hands on a community and make it a better place to live is something I really enjoy.
What's the coolest thing you've been able to be a part of as a city manager?
So many things, just making improvements to livability. We've done a lot of work in our parks over the last 10 years. We've built an amphitheater. We've added new parks. So that's been important. I'm also with my financial background. We've done some pretty significant things financially that I'm proud of. But and there's always something to do, and it's always exciting.
What's your favorite part of Kingston and why?
I think just the small town nature. As I said, it reminds me a lot of Clinton, where I grew up. Kingston kind of has a Mayberry feel about it, and when you're your age, you may not like that, but when you get to be old like me, you start to appreciate it. And it's a quiet place. Everybody knows each other. People look out for each other, and there aren't a whole lot of places like that anymore. And so I think that makes Kingston pretty special.
What made you want to move to Kingston?
When I moved to Maine, it was good to get away, to try something different, and honestly didn't plan on coming back. And then the job in Kingston came open, and it was always one of those towns that was kind of on my radar. And I thought, if I ever came back to East Tennessee, it would probably be for Clinton or Kingston. And it was just too good of an opportunity. It was a chance to come back home and be part of a great community. And even though I'm not from here, I feel like I am, because I've been here so long. But it was just a too good of a chance to pass up.
What's the next big project you're working on?
Well, right now, not that I'm working on specifically, but obviously the 225th birthday of Kingston is coming up, and that's a pretty big deal. A lot of folks are working on that. Me personally, we have a pretty big paving project coming up. I know that's not flashy, but that's that's part of running a city, and we're excited about that. We're redeveloping a park, try to make Kingston more attractive for fishing tournaments to bring people into our community, help grow our economy. So things like that, working on budgets and all the day-to-day things that it takes to run a city. So,
you just built the amphitheater recently. What all goes into that?
We got fortunate that we were able to get some grant money to build that. So we were able to build it at no expense to the citizens. And it's, we haven't really had an opportunity to use it too much yet. We built it and then we had the pandemic and other things, but it's a great place for a concert. We've had weddings there. We've shown UT football games there. So to be able to be outside in a venue right on the lake, it's pretty neat thing, and not a lot of communities our size have something like that. So we're proud of it.
What did you do as a city manager during the pandemic?
We were learning as we went because we never experienced anything like that. But we did have to alter the way we do work. But I'm happy to say that throughout the pandemic, we never stopped offering city services. We had to modify the way that we did it, but the city moved on, and we were there for the people throughout the whole time. For example, in the police department, we had to alter how we interacted with people at a distance. Same thing with our other services. So there were changes to make, but throughout it all, we kept open for business, and we were there for the people. That's what a city's job is, and we didn't have to walk away from that. So I'm really proud of it. I hope we never have to do it again, but it just goes to show you that you never know what's coming at you, and you have to be able to adapt. In whether you're a city manager or no matter what you do, you have to be adaptable.
What's one thing that makes Kingston stand out?
It would be hard to pinpoint one thing. I think geographically, I guess the lake, it's a beautiful place, but beyond that, I think it's the people. Everybody here just really seems to care about each other and care about their community. They take pride in it, and you don't see that everywhere you go anymore. So we like to say that we're kind of in a bubble in Kingston, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that bubble stays in place, because we want this to be just as special for the next generation as it is right now.
So outside of work, what do you like to do?
I like to be outside. I love to hike. I love to be on the water in my kayak, which we live in a perfect place for. But anything I can do out of the house. I'm not a big lay around and watch TV kind of guy. I like to get out and get in the woods and do stuff like that, walk my dog, and just stay active.
So what would an ideal Saturday look like in Kingston?
There's a lot you can do. Obviously you can get on the water. We have walk trails all over town that you can utilize. We have small businesses that you can go shopping. There's a lot to do in a small town, and people here who live here, who are here every day, don't always see it. They get used to it. But when we have people come in from other states, other places, they're just blown away by everything there is to do in Kingston. Fort Southwest Point, for example, we all drive by it every day. We kind of take it for granted, but that's getting ready to be the state of Tennessee's next state park. So we're really excited about that and where that can grow, and that's going to be a big draw for our community. So there's a lot to do here.
Tell me about your kids.
They're worthless. I have two kids, Carter and Caroline. One is behind the microphone right now, but I'm blessed to have two amazing children.
What's the hardest part about being the city manager?
Not being able to do everything as quickly as you want. You know, there's a saying that the wheels of government turn slow, and that's absolutely true. A lot of what we do in the long term. You know, projects take a while to come to fruition. Sometimes funding isn't available for things you want to do. So the hardest thing is being patient, especially for somebody like me. I see something, I want to do it, and sometimes you have to wait and let something develop, and that's kind of tough. But
Where do you see Kingston 10 years from now?
in some ways, I hope it's just like it is. You know, there are things about Kingston that I don't want to go away with time. Obviously, we want to grow, and we're seeing growth. We're seeing a lot of new houses built. A lot of people are moving here from other parts of the country. So there's going to be some change inherently from that as new people from different cultures come in. But I hope we grow some. I want it to be moderate. I don't want us to ever be West Knoxville. And I think, you know, if we get bigger too fast, we grow too much, we start losing our identity. And I think we have to find that balance. So in 10 years, I hope we see some growth. I think we will. But hopefully it still looks like Kingston's.
So what's going to happen at the Kingston 225th birthday?
We have a lot of things planned. Those plans are still in the works right now, but you know, certainly we're gonna celebrate. We'll, as it gets closer, I think we'll have several things maybe throughout the whole month. But you know, it's a big deal. This is one of the oldest cities in the state of Tennessee, and you know, to be able to hit a milestone like this is not something that happens every day. So hopefully we'll have dignitaries come in. We'll have citizens involved, and really get people out to celebrate this place we call home.
If you could describe Kingston in 4 words, what would they be and why?
Perfect place to live. And I say that because it's, again, you know, we were so lucky here. It's a safe community. It's a beautiful community. It's a community full of history and wonderful people. And I think that's why you see so many multi-generations living here. You know, young people go off, they go somewhere to school, they go somewhere and start a career, but a lot of them end up back here, and there's a reason for that, because it's just a great place to call home.
If you could give any advice to the younger generations, what would it be?
Follow your passions, and I understand and realize that sometimes it takes a while to figure out what those passions are. I would say as you leave high school, you go into college, go into the workforce, whatever you do, go into it with an open mind. Realize that what you're doing now may not be what you want to do for the rest of your life. You may not even know what your dream is, but do what makes you happy. The money, the titles, all those sort of things will take care of themselves. But it's very important to do something you love, and just find your passion and give it everything you have.
Our last question is, how has moving to Kingston changed your life or you?
It's just been a great community to be a part of. I mean, obviously I came here from somewhere else, even though I'm not that far away. Clinton was just 30 minutes up the road. I was around Kingston a lot, but the longer I'm here, the more integrated I get into the community, and it feels like home.
How old were your kids when you moved to Kingston?
Probably second grade and fourth, maybe. They were elementary school aged, so they were pretty young. This isn't the only home they've ever had, but it's certainly where they spent the majority of their childhood, and so I'm sure that it's home to them. So,
what's been the best part about raising kids here?
Just that it's so safe, that it's a community where everybody knows them, people look out for them. You know, even if as a kid you don't realize it, you know, you don't just have parents, you have friends, parents, and other people who are looking out for you and who care about your best interest and are following your life. So that's pretty special.
Thank you.
You're welcome.